full shots, wedges, and short irons, it's so situational, and being able to adapt and have those shots available, that's what can, separate guys that are good and great. Hey everyone, Rickie Fowler here. We are going to talk about some off-speed shots. Very rarely do you get a perfect number. If you're lucky, there might be 4 or 5 shots in a round where you get like that exact perfect number. A lot of times it's either I'm going to hit a full shot and accept where it's at, or especially on wedges, you're going to get a lot more kind of in between numbers and you have to hit some feel or off-speed shots. So for me, one of my big ones that I always work on, for me, I call it kind of my shoulder to shoulder. Whether my hands are actually at shoulder to shoulder, I don't know. It's just my personal feeling. So my shoulder to shoulder with lob wedge is 80 yards. That same swing with sand wedge, which is my 56, that's 90. And then same thing with gap wedge, I have 52 here. That shoulder to shoulder is 100 yards. And that's for, other than going shorter shots with lob wedge, 60, 50, down there. I have some other ones for that, but this allows me on, 80 to 130, whenever there's those gaps, or if I want to have something where I'm trying to take spin off, I have a few different options there. So we'll see if I can, like I said, 52 here. Again, it's just my feeling, and I'm getting feedback here from Foresight, and that's mostly where I'm working on numbers, is going off feels and that speed and getting feedback to try and dial in, okay, I'm gonna hit this, 100 yards. So shoulder to shoulder, we're not too worried about line right now. I'm just lined up a little right of the bunker, but shoulder to shoulder, see if we can hit the 100 yards. That was 101. So for me, this is a great tool. Obviously, you can rangefinder, shoot pins. There's a little bit of wind, but you can get a good idea. For me, these off-speed shots, when you get wind, hitting shots into the wind, being able to control flight, get softer conditions, be able to take speed off, control spin. So again, you don't have to do it with every club, especially when it comes to wedges. You can see how it relates on each one. For me, most of the time, I'll do a lot of my work with 60 or just choose one that day. I'm gonna hit my numbers, but shoulder to shoulder and work on my feels, and I know how they translate between, my gap wedge, sand wedge, and lob wedge. I like to try and keep it efficient. I don't want to hit too many or overwork. So that's like I said, a way for me to do off speed on wedges. We'll go to 9-iron. Again, typically off speed is going to be much more mid irons on down into wedges. Long irons, it's not like you're trying to stuff it, unless you're Scotty Scheffler, Colin Morikawa, those guys. 4-iron to just on the green is fine. When we're talking about wedges, short irons, these are scoring clubs. You're trying to hit your numbers. So typically for me, stock 9-iron's about 155, plus or minus, depending how I'm feeling, temperature that day. But also, like talked about, back into the wind or softer conditions, maybe I want to hit, 140 shot with 9-iron. Place that comes to mind, Pebble Beach. A lot of times we have soft greens. A lot of those greens are pitched back at us. Maybe trying to get to a back pin. We don't want to have any spin. And again, I relate a lot of the stuff to like feelings of shoulder to shoulder, trying to keep the rhythm and tempo of the swing consistent. It can, if you're a little short, you get quick, or get long and decel. So I like to try and keep it, consistent on both ends. So we'll go for kind of the 140 shot. So that'd be normally kind of a stock wedge. And we'll see if we can hit the controlled 9 to take some spin off. A little off, 136. Do a little bit of work. We'll try and dial that in, but that's a lot of the practice for me. Working on hitting numbers, with different clubs, so you have those options there, because you never know wind, soft conditions, what you may face, and I think having an extra option is always a good thing.